My presentation on emotional intelligence, my personal emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? It is one of the key human skills of leadership. Emotional intelligence can be defined as one of these three things, or all three together: the ability to understand, harmonize, and display one's feelings and emotions, the ability to recognize, interpret, and communicate with other people's feelings and emotions. And employing these capabilities can help the individual to manage and control impulses and stress, resolving interpersonal and intrapersonal complexities, and make the appropriate decisions. This is from Ludabeth 2020. These can also be translated into self-awareness, which helps leaders understand the emotions of others, self-regulation, which helps leaders control their own emotions and reactions, and social skills, which helps manage relationships, resolve conflict within the team. The task at hand is to assess my personal emotional intelligence via an internet quiz. Sorry, we did just go through those on the wrong slide. My apologies. So the first quiz I took was from IHHP. I had a rating of excellent emotional intelligence, which according to Pauliu Fry 2022 means these results may reflect your high level of self-knowledge or a lack of it, since you must be self-aware to assess yourself accurately. Now, this really spoke to me because I do credit myself to being very empathetic, self-aware, and generally emotionally intelligent. However, I have a chronic disability called PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Monthly, I navigate a slew of unpredictable symptoms, including, but not limited to, loss of appetite, hypersomnia, insomnia, low self-esteem, muscle inflammation, extreme muscle fatigue, extreme mood swings, and suicidal or intrusive thoughts. This is from IMPMD.org. This condition affects 1 in 3 people with uteruses. These symptoms are easy for me to acknowledge when they're happening, yet very challenging to communicate and self-regulate, similarly to autism. Yet these symptoms only affect me 2 weeks out of the month, leaving me with what feels and seems to others to be multiple personalities. This leads to difficulty in displaying emotional intelligence to the level other people expect. While I use all of my emotional intelligence available for not lashing out and generally regulating my own emotions as I re-experience my trauma without any hormonal support to help me through it, I've noticed in positions of leadership, this state of mind can offer me more skills in setting boundaries, knowing my own limitations, and empathizing with people who empathize with me as well. So I realize from this quiz and for what feels like the first and millionth time that I am not as strong in emotional intelligence as I had originally thought. This led me to take a second test and get a second opinion. The second quiz I took was from Mind Tools. This time, I checked my self-awareness accuracy by requesting feedback from my partner who knows me very well. We had a difference of opinion about if I can listen without judgment. He said I have strong opinions, quote unquote, which is a euphemism for judgment, which I have gotten criticized for before. The quiz results showed that my emotional level was okay, with an EQ of 53 points out of 75. The website quoted, "You probably have good relationships with some of your colleagues, but others may be difficult to work with." This is very true. Other people who have tendencies for control or defensiveness often feel either attacked, intimidated, or uncomfortable around me. The reason I decided on this degree path in general was due to my lack of understanding of why the followers in my projects would feel resistance against concepts I thought were obvious. My self-awareness on this quiz was 12 out of 15 points. I have a good awareness of my cycles and my shifts and my subliminal triggers, which I think is shown here. But those 3 points probably happen those 5 days out of the month where the pain inside me is unbearable. Self-regulation. I had 8 out of 15 points. I understand this one as I have a hard time regulating when I'm alone, and I prefer to have systems in place with other people to help hold me accountable, which is not quite the leadership people are hoping for. Motivation. I scored 10 out of 15. When my hormones are out of balance 1/2 of the month, I have almost no self-motivation. I'm fueled by fear of failure, which is not the kind of leadership followers desire to follow. It feels desperate. This led me to being unable to work for other people or keep a stable 9-to-5 job. But luckily, the hyperproductivity I have has encouraged me and motivated me so that I am succeeding currently working for myself solely as a performance artist and the artist model. Empathy, I scored 11 out of 15. I empathize often, but have been taken advantage of due to my empathy. This has led me to empathize less and prioritize my own situation more than prioritizing showing and understanding for other people's struggles. My social skills, I scored 11 out of 15. I believe I have high levels of social skills, mostly learned from masking. Masking is the act of hiding or suppressing symptoms of mental health condition, according to Benoist 2022, and is a learned coping strategy to help chronic sufferers adjust to social situations. I had masked my symptoms for a long time, making it a harsh reality to admit to myself and others the root of why my relationships ended in burned bridges and physically debilitating periods. My response? I set my schedule around my cycle. 2 weeks out of the month, I work really hard, nonstop. This is when my hormones are high energy and productive. Then I rest really hard for 2 weeks and take space from social circles, work obligations, etc. And it's key that I work for myself and not on a strict timeline or under any scrutiny. The irony of this is that I started my period in the middle of this recording and noticed my voice start shaking. Yet I have to continue on, even though the pain and inconvenience and discomfort overwhelms me. I am almost done with this degree, and I know that has taken a large step of emotional intelligence for myself to learn and make it through this. Yet I know I have a long ways to go. Thank you for listening.